Hey everyone. So this is a bit of an experiment tonight, another experiment with technology. The other night I did a live stream where I was unpacking and taking everything out of the rig from our Mojave road trip. And I really couldn't respond. Hattie Mike. I really couldn't respond to questions because I was so busy doing things, and I thought maybe it would be cool if I just did a live stream where I answer questions that you guys might have. I can sit here and babble about a lot of things. Hello from Mongolia. Holy cow. Hi, Mongolia. Anyway, I thought I'd experiment with just answering your questions as they come in and see how that went. Again, we're sort of experimenting with this YouTube technology and figuring it all out. And the live stream has been a great way to get feedback from the community. All right, best GPS for off-road. We use the DeLorme. Wow, the questions are going to come in really fast, I see. So we use the DeLorme InReach. Hello, greetings from Los Angeles, David. What's the next rig upgrade going to be? Well, I've been looking at different drawer systems. We've never used drawer systems, and portable toilet, REI. We've never used drawer systems. One of the reasons is because Corey and I really like to sleep in the back of the rig most times. If we get to a camp spot and we come in after dark, usually we remove some of the stuff from the back of the rig and we put our sleeping bags right in there, and a drawer system would get in the way. So what we think we might do is configure a system for being able to sleep in the back of the rig with a drawer system. I just got a question about the Northwest trip, trip up in the Pacific Northwest. We did a rally last year, and we're probably going to do another one in August. Douglas from Australia, hello. When is part 2 of Off the Grid 2016 happening? Dan, it's a good question. So we go on so many trips, we gather so much footage that it really takes us a long time to catch up. And some things we take more time on. The Off the Grid part 2 is something that is going to be really great when it comes out. We've got some very exciting footage, and I've been taking time to edit that together, so it will come out soon. I'm hoping within the next 2 weeks or so. So part 2 is coming soon. A lot of good footage for Off the Grid Rally Part 2 video. Comment for distraction, Tucson, Arizona. Hello. Go ahead, and if you guys ask questions. Are we going to Expo East? Don't know if we're going to go to Expo East, but hi, Idaho. But we'll definitely be going to Expo West, and we do have a booth at Expo West, so we really look forward to talking to a lot of members when we get there. Hey, Huckleberry, how's it going? Nice to hear from you. By the way, this live stream, I'll stay on for about 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes, and then this video will probably be archived. I don't know that it will be public, but I am here to answer your questions now. New tires yet? Boy, yeah, on the last trip, hi Concord, you're right around the corner. On the last trip, our tire exploded on the freeway. We didn't recognize the severity of the damage that we had taken on the trail on the Mojave Road. And we drove for 5 hours during the day, and at the last moment, literally 2 exits from Overland bound HQ, our rear passenger tire exploded. Shrapnel everywhere, and we had to change that tire. I'm running on the spare right now. I'll get it. I'll get it in, or I'll get it replaced as soon as possible. Tire sponsors. That's funny. You know, we don't have any sponsors. That's the thing. We use gear. You guys hear about gear that we really like. Yeah, that's a funny comment. Hi, Dominican Republic. Glad to hear you. The new battery so far. So, yeah, the NorthStar battery is a dual-purpose deep cycle battery and starting battery, and it's doing absolutely fantastic. And I've tried to put it to the test. Some of you guys may have seen I did a USB install because Corey and I are tired of not having enough ports to plug in multiple devices. We have lots of camera equipment, plus our iPhones, plus other devices. So I did an install where I have a small inverter in the center console, and then that inverter is connected to 10 USB ports with a smart chip in it, and the smart chip gives devices the maximum amount of charging power that is safe for the device. So I ran that overnight. I also had the lights on, ran the stereo, and the battery has just not faltered. So I really enjoy the battery so far, and I think it's doing a great job. The next upgrade is going to be a dual battery setup, which I don't have yet. So I'm going to get that set up as well. Is that a Fathead OB logo? This one? I think that it is. This is a one-off, and yeah, it's like 3 feet wide or something like that. Lots of people want it for the hood of their car. We haven't made those yet. That would be expensive. I mean, we've got the banners, and even the banners they're expensive, but yeah, maybe we might do, okay, recovery gear for a beginner overlander. Beginner overlander, I'll tell you some of the things I have in my kit. I have a winch, and the reason you want to get a winch that is plenty for what you are going to be doing is because different environments have different needs. Get a heavy winch that will do what you want it to do. If you're stuck in mud, it's not about the weight of your vehicle. It's about the weight of the vehicle and the suction of the mud or whatever you're going to be pulling up. So it has to do with the resistance too. We have a good winch. We happen to have MaxTrax as well. For a long time, I had aluminum sand ladders. That can be considered part of your recovery kit. MaxTrax are traction mats. Sand ladders or aluminum ladders can be also used to bridge if you stack them, so slightly different uses. But winch, traction mats of some kind, you want to have a tree strap because you don't want to kill trees by wrapping your cable around them. So have a tree strap, and also have a snatch block, which will allow you to double up your pulley strength and have more pulling power on the same winch. And I have a high lift jack. The little bottle jack, I use it surprisingly often, but if I really need to get some height, on the rig or jack it up and get rocks underneath it to get out of a tough spot, then I use the high lift jack. And a shovel. We have a shovel and an axe, which comes in very handy. So between the high lift, a shovel, and a winch, you should be able to get yourself out of most situations. Really, the MaxTrax and traction mats, their slogan, and again, we're not sponsored by MaxTrax, but their slogan is the easy way out. And that's because instead of digging, oftentimes you can throw those traction mats underneath your tires and just move right out. So that's some of the gear that we have for overlanding. The radiator that blew up, and for those of you that saw the video, the the radiator that blew up was factory. It was old. It was the original radiator. We've got over 20 years on that radiator, and it was just done. So yeah, it blew up. It was factory, and we replaced it. Yeah, let's see. Yep, MaxTrax, great in sand, really does a good job. Let's see, off-road vehicle build though, when will there be a Utah meetup? Good question. So one of the things that we're doing is we're developing on our platform, we're developing software that makes it easier for our members to get together and plan events. And so it will be much easier for local Overland bound members to throw together a meetup. Hey, Napa, California. So that think May timeframe, we're going to have something that allows people to plan local meetups. All right. And looking through the questions that I missed. Window decal in smaller sizes? Yeah, maybe. We might do that. How do I feel about brand loyalty versus fabricators? You know, that's a great question. If I had a good local fabricator, I would be going to them all the time. I don't right now. When I do use a brand, it is because of the quality of their product, not necessarily out of a sense of loyalty. So if a brand comes up with something that is bad, I won't use it. In the case of, we use ARB, we have an ARB front bumper. The quality is really good. And I could have that fabricated. I know there are some great fabricators out of there, and I'm certainly willing to do that. But it does really come down to the quality of the product and what it is you're going to use it for. When we do show some brand loyalty, it is only because the quality of their product has really served us well in the past. And the way I am is I don't believe it unless I try it myself. So marketing and advertising does not really work that well for me. It's word of mouth. Let's see, inexpensive tool rolls. Good question. We have some suggestions in articles over on overlandbound.com, but I can't name it. I can't name it by name because I forget. Utah trip this fall. That would be awesome. After Overland Expo West, we may be headed to Utah. Hey, Texas. All right. Let's see. I'm going to scroll through. Okay, average best first-time compressor to air up. I'll be honest. I have a little compressor that I got at the Good Guys. And now I'm looking to upgrade that because for 35-inch tire, it is about 8 minutes to air up from 12 psi to 32 psi, which is a long time. So I am looking to upgrade. I really like the PowerShot products. I know it's not air on demand, as much air as you need. You do have a tank, but I really like the speed. We're looking for an upgrade. I may go with a under the hood compressor, or I'll go with something like PowerShot. Are air compressors necessary for a build? I would get one, even if you get a cheapie. Have something in there that you might be able to use to air up a tire, air up a flat tire. There are ways to get around on a flat tire. If you don't have a compressor, you can actually stuff it full of brush and weeds or whatever else you can find to get you back to civilization. But if you can repair a tire and you can air it back up, it's a lot better option. For a build, I would get some kind of compressor. That doesn't mean you have to go out and spend $700 for your first compressor. I've heard very good things about Veer. I'm probably mispronouncing that, but I've heard good things about it. I've only seen it in writing. Let's see. Looking forward to joining. Awesome. Thanks for the support. We really appreciate it. How much extra fuel and water did you bring on Mojave Road? So I had two 5-gallon gas tanks, And our general rule of thumb, external gas tanks, that was plenty. In fact, we had plenty of fuel. I won't say plenty. We had fuel for the 150-mile trip just with what was in the tank, and then we had 10 gallons on the outside just for spare. For water, our general rule of thumb is 2 gallons per person per day. And that's conservative. You know, a lot of people will say that's way too much water. You don't need that much water. But we're considering using it for dishes, for cleanliness, for drinking, for pets, for anything that you might have. And it also greatly depends on your access for water. If you have access to plenty of water, you may not need to bring as much, but don't mess around with it. 2 gallons per person per day. You know you're going to have enough water, even if you're traveling down through Baja, and water is not something you want to run out of. All right. Yeah, right. Even Ryobi has a great 18-volt inflator that can be recharged via 12-volt charger, right? So, I mean, there are some inexpensive options out there. It's not the best. You can always upgrade later. Let's see. Extra fuel and water. ARB versus Gobi racks. I really like my Gobi. I have not used an ARB rack, and I don't have a lot of experience with it. I know ARB in general is really, they do good stuff. So I would assume their quality is good. I've used the ARB, or sorry, the Gobi rack for 5 years now, and it has been great. It's been weather resistant. I walk all over it. It's really been a stout rack, so I do like it. Oh, the wattage, it's a small one. I got a little, 150 watt inverter. It's only got 2 plugs. It's not heavy duty. It is not for, running a computer necessarily. It is just for charging up batteries, like my Canon battery, which requires a 110 volt outlet. So it's relatively small. There are much larger inverters out there, and we may upgrade it someday. Let's see. Any estimations on when off the grid 2017 will be? Yes, we always hold the off the grid rallies on the last weekend of September. So that's when it's going to be. And we may change up the location. We kept the size limited last year. We sold out in 3 days, so very, very rapidly among Overland bound members only, and so we didn't open it up to the general public. And we think we've outgrown the current place, which is the Shaver Lake campsite, which was a great base camp. We think we need to get something larger. So we will probably be looking for new venues, but it'll be around the same area, and it'll be the last weekend in September. Let's see. Yeah, good comments. Watching from India. Hey guys, from India. You're awesome. And why don't we take fishing poles? I've been fishing for a long time. Doesn't mean I'm good at it. We usually throw some fishing poles in the back pretty frequently. Let's see. Hip and lower back issues on long hauls. I don't. Part of the reason that we do like overlanding is because people who have hip and lower back issues can usually get in their car and go to these awesome locations. But I don't have any specific recommendation for the long haul. If anybody else does, feel free to respond in the comments. It would be great to hear. Also, we might have some feedback over in the forums. There's such a large variety of topics in our forums that somebody may have some suggestions. All right, now I'm about to wrap things up because I've been on, I realize, for about 20 minutes. Do we get to choose our badge number? Here's the thing with badge numbers. We issue them sequentially. Way back in the beginning, we used to allow people, and for the first for the founding 500, we allowed people to choose their number, first come, first serve, but it was within a limited range. Now we issue numbers sequentially because it's fair to everyone. It is, you know, based on when you order, and that's how we issue the numbers. You can imagine if we allowed people to request their numbers, how complicated that would be to manage, right? So we do issue them in sequence, and that's what we've been doing for a little while now. Let's see, why no adventure trailer? It's a good question. Adventure trailer, it's something we actually think about quite a bit, and honestly, I really like the idea of an adventure trailer. We've seen a lot. It does allow you to, you know, drop your kit and go, which is great. If you get to a site, you can set up, you got your adventure trailer, and then you can hit the trail the next day and still have your base camp there. And it's a great place for all of your gear, especially gear that you may not be using every day. So adventure trailer may be in the works. We'll see. All right, let's see. What else? Badge number are we now? We are at, hold on, I can show you. I was just signing certificates today. We are at 4848. We've got, this is the last certificate that I signed. So that means we've probably got about 300 certificates below that haven't been ordered yet, but we're approaching 5,000 very quickly. Let's see, new tires after the blowout. I'm probably going to replace just the one. I'll see. I have to lean on the advice of my tire shop to see if that's going to work out okay. I may consider other type tires, but I've used the BFG KM2s for a really long time. I really like them. They're generally very durable. Wait, I want a badge. How do I get one? Go to our website, overlandbound.com, click on the thing that says get involved. If you guys want to become an Overland Bound member, that really helps us continue to do what we do. It supports the community and it grows the community, which is kind of awesome. Also, because you asked, it does give you access to the Overland Bound member map, which shows thousands of users worldwide. There's probably thousands of members worldwide. There's probably a member that is relatively close to you. Members, we do keep certain content private because members exchange, you know, personal information, location, that kind of thing. So that's why we save the member map for members who are Overland Bound members, but that's how you find out about it. Go over to our website. Okay, awesome live, keep it up. You betcha. I hope that this is a good opportunity to answer some questions. What do you think of the new Land Cruiser? I don't know. Yeah, I like my solid axle. You know, I mean, solid axle's tough. My rig, even if, just through 20 plus years of use and abuse, some things are failing on the interior. Just the structure and the makeup of the Land Cruiser with the solid axle, it is really stout, and I really appreciate it. I think all series of Land Cruisers, including the new ones, are they're good. They're great rigs. Toyotas, they're very reliable. That's why they retain their value, and I think they're a great option. There are many good options, but I think Toyota's a really good option for a reliable rig. Do you have a lucky badge number 13? I'd have to look that up and see who badge number 13 is, but because that is a Founder 500, it is probably somebody who specifically wanted number 13. Let's see. Appreciate your time. Tony, you betcha. Thank you. It is my pleasure. Let's see. Let's see. When is your next Australia trip, specifically Western Australia? I go to Australia from time to time, and truth be told, I'm probably going to Australia in a couple of weeks. But I'm not going to have a lot of time on this trip to go out and explore. I'll be going on a fairly regular basis and look forward to seeing more of that awesome country. Let's see. Fix It, Colorado. Thank you. I really appreciate that. That means a lot to me. Let's see. What else? Expo 17, doing any classes. You know, I'm going to use the opportunity to connect with members. There's going to be a lot of members there. I want to touch base with people personally and, you know, get to know folks. And we're going to have a booth there, and we'll be sharing more information. So that's probably what I'm going to take my time doing. Overlanding with kids. I do have a recommendation for overlanding with kids. Overlanding with kids, DVD player. And lots of Scooby-Doo. Wait, it depends on how old your kids are. But honestly, you know, I don't sit the kids in front of the TV for, you know, babysitting. But when you're on a long trek and you want to be able to have a conversation with the person over in the co-pilot seat, you know, frequent stops, DVD really helps. So that is one recommendation. It's the thing that comes to mind immediately. But, you know, frequent stops also really helps, and getting them out to exercise, of course. Yeah, that's a couple of recommendations. What do I do for a living? I am in the software business. I am a video game developer. I make video games, and I've been doing that for about 20 years. And yeah, so I'm an old man in that industry. And, you know, when I started, it wasn't really a thing. And yeah, that's what I do. That's my day job. Let's see. Any chance of a local fabrication recommendation subforum in the, you know, that'd be cool. Local fabricator would be really cool. You know, we go out and we beat up our rigs quite a bit, and we always need fabrication work. So why wouldn't we start that? That is a good recommendation. Let's see. If you have the number 13 badge open, I'll sign up tomorrow. Unfortunately, I know it's taken. You know, the numbers that are under, you know, 4,500, all of those numbers are taken. Let's see. Looking forward to joining your group soon. Thank you. Let's see. What else? We need a mod. A mod to rid the trolls. Yeah, okay. It's true, but I just kind of ignore them. Let's see. Am I on... I Hate Mud? Yeah, I am. I've been on I Hate Mud for, geez, I probably can't claim a decade, but I've been there for a really long time, and I forget my handle. I think it's Gurney. I'm a fan of Dan Gurney, the race car driver from the 1960s that won the 24-hour Le Mans in the Ford GT40 race car. I just think he is an amazing driver, was an amazing driver, and I think that's an amazing car, the 24-hour Le Mans. So sometimes you'll see me in forums as Gurney. And that's why. Let's see. What kind of comms do I think are necessary? Monty a Little, hey, how's it going? What kind of comms do I think is necessary? A simple CB is great on the trail if you're going to be in a small cluster. Ham or GMRS, they are higher quality. There's just a greater barrier to entry. You have to get a license to be able to use those radios, but the clarity is really, really cool. If you get nothing else, I would get something like the DeLorme InReach, because you'll be able, if you really get into trouble, you'll be able to get a message out to Facebook. No matter where you are in the world, anything that relies on the Iridium satellite network has no gray or blackout areas. That means literally anywhere in the world, as long as you can see the sky, you can get a message out. So if you get nothing else, I would recommend getting the DeLorme InReach or something like that. I see Nick, you know, InReach saved you this weekend. Freaking awesome. If you're off the grid, you can use it, you can get a message out. With Overland Bound members, the cool thing is we can, if I post to the forums or a message to our Facebook page, I get responses from people who are in the area, which is awesome. That's part of the reason that our goal is to build a worldwide overland network, is so that you have people close by that can help you. All right, let's see. What other questions? InReach is pricey. Nah, can't disagree. Messaging feature is awesome. Yes, it is. Work is calling. Good live show. Hey, Bruce, thanks for watching. Thank you, ET1. All right. So, Sam, how do you balance time off at work to max time on the trail? I work all the time, basically. I mean, and I get out as often as I can, and I think I'm pretty much in the same category as a lot of people that find the opportunity to outfit and explore as much as you possibly can. But yeah, I've got a day job, so that is a large responsibility. And Corey and I, we get out and we take 2-week, 3-week long trips as much as we can, but it only happens once or twice a year, and we're fortunate, that we can take that time to go. But we get out as often as we can, so we do a lot of short trips. I'm going to give a shout out to Made Man on Instagram, Nick. That guy's out. He's got a job. He's out like every freaking weekend. So you just find the time for what's important, and we go out as much as we can. Let's see. What about badges and names like Yeti and YOLO? We do names on badges when they're a company or an entity that we're close to, that we like and we enjoy. We'll give them a badge with their name on it, but we don't do it for individuals. But like Fieldcraft, hey Mike, Fieldcraft, they've got a Fieldcraft badge. Yeti, YOLO, ARB, MaxTrax. We've sent badges to those organizations. They're organizations we use, and it's just kind of our way of saying, hey, thanks, you guys make awesome products. Okay. What would be my next vehicle? I've always had a soft place in my heart for Jeeps because I like the Jeeps. I also like the H1 Humvee, the original H1 Humvee. It's hard to imagine going from the 80 because I like the versatility of that rig. But one of those vehicles might be in the works. But if I could get my hands on a HiLites here in the States, or something, with a diesel power plant, I may do that. Let's see. Stick with the 80. I really like the 80. All right, you guys. It's been a half an hour, and I appreciate all your questions and sitting here and hearing me babble. I want to answer your questions, answer the community's questions. If you have further questions, you can write them in the comments. After I ban a couple of people, I don't know who that could be. Who would I possibly ban from this channel? I don't know who I would ban. Why don't I have a fridge? It's coming. All right, you guys. I will talk to you soon. Take care. Until next time, of course, outfit and explore. Get on the trail, man. All right, see ya.